Well, welcome back to another live from around Mijas. We had a little problem with some technical gremlins last week, and Mario was already waiting. He's joined me again this evening. Good evening, Mario.
Hello, Ian. How are you? Hello,
I,
everybody.
I'm good. Just surviving the heat like everybody else, I think, Mario. Now, Mario, we've really got a couple of things, and maybe you have some other things that you want to raise, but we are going to be talking about the 6 million euros that Mijas has committed for concerts over the next, is it 6 years? There's 1 million per year.
5 years.
5 years.
1 million plus
Okay.
VAT.
Ah, right. Okay. So we're going to be talking about that. But first of all, Mario, you're going to talk us through an extraordinary council meeting that we had in July. Can you tell us what it was for and what happened in it?
Yes. Let me explain you how the town hall works. They have to approve every year a budget that shows the incomes expected and also the expenses. And that has to be balanced. If the budget has more expenses than income, the budget has to foresee where we are going to get a loan to cover that gap.
Right.
Mijas is approving more or less a balanced budget. And the law says that before the 31st of October of every year, you have to approve the accounts of the year before and the budget of the year after, which
Okay.
seems common sense. Mijas Town Hall has not approved the accounts since October 2014.
Okay.
So the accounts of 2015, 16, 17, 18 have never been approved officially. We are the only city hall of more than 50,000 inhabitants that have not approved that in the whole of Spain. And
Right.
there are 8,000 municipalities in Spain. So on top of that, we have not, or the government has not done the budget in time. But not only they didn't do it in October, nor in November, nor even in December, they brought that in the middle of July.
Right.
That is not only stupid, that is also illegal. That creates a lot of hassle in the accountancy department, which is the one that has to authorize the expenses. So
Right.
if we were paying the invoices late, approving a budget when half of the money has been spent has created a lot of problems in that department.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this to a number of people, and they just cannot comprehend that in the middle of July, we're approving the budget for this year. And somebody
Yes,
said to me, "Oh, you mean for next year?" I go, "No, no, 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 for this year,
no.
2022."
And not only that, that has to be published during 20 days. So anyone in Mijas has the opportunity to object if the budget has any illegality. You
Right.
cannot object simply because you don't like it, but you could object if you believe that they are doing something wrong. And
Right.
we are still in that time to do it. When the Popular Party was governing, there was always someone very well known that would object the budget the last very day.
Okay.
Why? Because that delays the approval of the budget until the following plenum.
Right.
That has never happened with the PSOE in the government until last year that we objected the budget, even though later we removed our objection the day after
Right.
because they told us that that was going to create a lot of problems.
Okay. So we have a budget, and you're very kind. I know I get sent all these papers, Mario, but people are probably not aware. We get sent literally every month thousands of pages of information, and I for one feel myself growing old even trying to download all this stuff. So you very kindly gave me a big bundle of these papers that you thought were the most important ones, and yeah, I can see all the numbers, Mario. I can see what they're planning to spend on, I don't know, infrastructure or, social services, but it doesn't actually tell us, it tells us how much they're gonna spend within these departments, but there's no real indication, is there, on what they are going to spend it on within these departments?
Correct. And sometimes when you ask for something, instead of giving you a straight answer, they give you thousands of papers which is a way of not telling you anything.
Right.
They try to bury you with documents. In the case of this budget approved in July for the year 2022, it was not a lot of pages. It was 85 files that you had to download one after another, every single one, through the web. Obviously, when you have a very good internet connection.
Yeah.
Later, you have to open them and read them and try to understand them.
Yeah.
The problem here is that this is not the yearly budget. This is how they have called it, but this is a complementary budget. Why? Because in May, they approved something else. That was how to spend the reserves of the town hall. The
Right.
town hall had 100 million euros, and they decided to spend 85.
Right.
And they make a list of the things. So now this budget that we have approved is an addenda to that one. So one of my objections to the budget is, sorry, we want to have a figure. We want to know exactly how much you are going to spend in electricity or in concerts or in the police to be able to compare that with the year before and see whether you are spending more or less.
Yeah.
That hasn't been done. And that is one of the things we are requesting.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So lots and lots of papers, and as you say, you have to download them one at a time. And if people are like me, I actually can't spend 4 hours reading documents on a computer. And honestly, I can't even afford to print out these hundreds and hundreds of pages that they send. But I think as you say, it's almost like, you know, baffle us with the volume of papers that we send out, and then hope that no one really reads them or catches up with them.
Correct, but they know that I am wearing glasses for something because I always read whatever they produce,
You do.
and they cannot hide anything from our political party.
No, I think you are a thorn in their side, Mario, because you're probably one of the few people that actually reads all these papers.
Yeah, well, that's our job. As you
Yeah,
know, in the party we are 9 councillors, and each of us does something that they are good at. We
yeah,
cannot all do the same at the same time, but we try to distribute the job among us, and that is one of my jobs.
yeah. So Dan has said, "Great, Mario, bravo, thanks. Nice that you're joining us this evening, Dan." Okay, Mario, we're going to go on to I think the big topic, which is and it's 6 million euros, which has been committed to concerts in Mijas for the next 5 years. Is that right?
Correct. Let me tell you that Mijas Town Hall has been famous in the latest years for investing a little bit of money in organizing concerts free for the residents and visitors.
Yeah,
For example, we will organize the Blues Night, now called Noche Celta, also the festival of the Nations Festival,
yeah,
which they stopped doing in 2015 when we lost the government, and Fuengirola has continued to do it.
right.
What we have never done, or even in the fest, Mijas has 3 fests instead of one, as Fuengirola or Marbella.
Yeah,
So we hire people to play in those concerts for free, and the attendance is free. Mijas Town Hall has decided now to invest a lot of money in concerts, but those concerts will not be free. They
yeah,
will cost a similar price than in other cities. So the first reason is why, instead of offering a free plot to any organization to do concerts, why is Mijas going to pay 1.2 million? Because to the 1 million you have to add the VAT, so it is 1.2 million every year to subsidize a concert that will not reduce the prices for the Mijeños, for example.
right.
Imagine that Mijas wants to bring, I don't know, not the Beatles, but Rolling Stones,
Yeah,
and they want to put the ticket 50% for the Mijeños. Well, that could be an idea. No, they are going to subsidize anyone coming to this concert from Mijas or from wherever,
Right.
with the excuse that this will produce the same amount of money at least in publicity.
Right. Okay.
And you may agree or disagree with that, but the law says that uh, that impact on Mijas or in the area on the tourism has to be evaluated by external company. So
Yeah.
they employed external company, and as that company was not telling them what they wanted to hear, they have fired that company, and
Right.
they decided that in the last monthly meeting, they have decided to pay 600,000 euros in advance without the concert.
Yeah.
So how can you explain that the concert has produced at least 600,000 euros in publicity if the concert has not even happened?
Right. Yeah. And, you know, what I want to say, Mario, it sounds like we're being very negative here. This is not really about the concert, is it? You know,
Of course not.
people can be in favor of a concert. I have no problem with Mika's putting on a concert. I think it may be good for the municipality. The issue really is about whether or not they are justified in spending 1.2 million each year. Um, really, it's they've done it a very sneaky way, haven't they? Because they just haven't just paid the company a million to come and put this on. They've actually listed it as sponsorship of this company. Yeah,
Correct. The Mijas Town Hall is not the producer as it is, for example, with the small concerts done in the ferias, three at a year, or as I said, in the Noche Celta. They are patronizing, subsidizing the cost of the concert, but with the argument of the publicity.
yeah,
And the law allows a town hall to do that, but before paying any single penny, they have to prove that that money has produced that impact. And the
right,
law also says that anything that the town hall does for that concert has to be included in that patronizing. For
yeah,
example, the town hall has been moving the soil and putting a load of concrete in that plot for months. In fact, I think they started more than 1 year ago.
well,
That has cost a fortune,
yeah.
that has not been approved in the budget, for example, has not been published, and has not gone out for a tender.
Yeah, and they are also using council workers to do this. So, now
Correct?
that's fine, but it means that these council workers are not available to do other things if they're spending their time
For
on.
example, if you go to Facebook or any other social net, you will see a lot of people complaining about broken bricks in the road or sewage going out anywhere. They
Yeah,
cannot do it because they all are occupied and concentrated in investing a lot of money for this concert.
yeah,
So the law says that we have to account not only the million euros that they will give in cash, but also all the hours and all the materials that they are investing there. And this is a fortune out of control. And
yeah,
that is our complaint.
yeah.
We are, as you said, in favor of any concert, any music, and any spectacle that we may do to bring people to Mijas. Perfect.
Okay.
But things have to be done properly.
We've got a couple of comments here. I have one here from Craig. Good evening, Craig. He said, and actually, before I read this out, these are the comments that I've been getting from people, Mario, when I let them know that this is what's happening. Comments a very similar tone. 6 million would go a long way to sorting the parking out. Uh, Craig has a business up in Mijas Pueblo. Cars turned away from the Pueblo, yet at the back of the town hall, council cars not moved for months, taking up at least 20 spaces. Why not park them in the quarry and let the tourists park? Every car with 4 people turned away is money not spent in the Pueblo. You know,
Correct.
without addressing this specifically, and I can't disagree with what Craig is saying here. A lot of people have been making similar types of comments, and they've been
Mhm.
saying, Well, look, that amount of money could be used to, for proper maintenance on the boardwalk. It could be used to fix the holes in the potholes in the roads in some of the urbanizations. It could be used for building a residence for the elderly. It could be used for, and these are the kind of comments that I've been getting from people. And it's not about we don't want a concert. That's another issue we'll come on to. Um, it really is about, is this the best way to commit 6 million euros of Mika's taxpayers' money? I think that's the big
Yes,
question,
but
isn't it?
imagine Craig's opinion when he is told that Mijas Town Hall, with his money, is paying 600 euros every month for any of those cars which are parked almost abandoned there every day.
Right.
So they are not only taking a space that could be used by a tourist or a resident, they are costing us between 500 and 1,000 euros, depending on the model, every single month of the year. And most of them, as Craig will say, they are not used. So for July and August, when half of the staff is on holiday, couldn't they reduce the amount of cars that they rent?
Yeah.
No, because that means thinking and making projects in advance, and they don't like to work. They
Mhm.
prefer to appear on the pictures
Yeah.
instead of sitting down and writing notes and organizing the rental of the cars. We really believe that the amount of cars that we have is ridiculous, and that nowadays with computers and with all kind of communications, all those departments could do much better from their seat instead of having to go out to spend petrol and to use a car with the insurance, the maintenance, and all that.
Yeah. Denise Lansbury has said, "Good evening, gentlemen." Denise, you're a very nice lady to call us gentlemen. It's been a long time. Um, but she has also said, and this is her opinion, seems like a big waste of money. And I think it's fair enough for people to have that opinion. Um,
Mhm.
Mario, Vicky and I have chatted quite a lot. Andre is with us and saying, "Hola, hola, Andres. Thank you for joining us." Um, Daniela, oh, we're going to come back in that to your point in just a moment, Daniela. Vicky and I have talked a lot about this, and maybe we're a bit simple, but it would seem to me that you know Mika should be making some money out of running this concert rather than it costing us money. Um, and it's, as you said in a conversation we had, Mario, the Mika's taxpayers are paying twice for it because they're already paying 1.2 million via the taxes, and then they're also paying. And I think these tickets are not cheap. I think we're talking about over 100 euros. I think I've heard that
Mhm.
figure quoted. So they're kind of paying twice for it. And Mijas, as a council, I'm not saying individual businesses, but as a council, Mijas is not going to make anything out of it. If the businesses have a good turnover, that extra profit goes to Hacienda and not to Mijas.
Well, to Hacienda or to themselves, but not to Mijas.
Yeah,
Mijas could very well have offered that plot to any company to organize concerts for
sure.
free. For free means they will not have to pay the rental. And Mijas perhaps could be able to pay for the extra hours of the policemen, which are not cheap, to organize the traffic and to make sure everything goes properly. But
Right.
investing on top of that 1 million euros for a festival which they say will be bringing people from all Europe, are they really going to spend money in Mijas, or will they only stay in the areas that they have already booked and will buy food and drinks in the places they are already organized? I'm
Well,
afraid that at the end, the impact will not be more than 1 million euros. And this is against the law because the way they have chosen for this patronize means that if the impact is less than 1 million euros plus VAT, they can only pay whatever the impact is. And
right.
they have already decided to pay half of that, no matter my warnings in the monthly meeting.
Yes.
And they are very well informed by the general auditor that this money could not be paid at all without a report from an independent company, report that does not exist today.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm really happy about all this money that's going to come into Mijas because I've got a lot of friends in the restaurant trade, and I'm really pleased that they're all going to be millionaires by
The end of
the end
September.
of
Yes, good.
September. Listen, Mario, Daniela has made a comment, and this is about Cortico, Colorado. I made a short video today, and I know that there've been lots of suggestions about what it should be used for in the past. And she said, you know, what happened to the plan they had 2 years ago to build a school up by Cortico, Colorado? Community is constantly growing, and I understand that we don't have enough available local school places.
Well, let me tell you that the area where that school will be built is very close to the area where the concert will be, but
Okay,
they are not the same plots. I
okay,
know that I know Daniela has done her part, but unfortunately there are not many people, many children coming to Mijas from the beginning to be
right,
grown up in schools. So according to the population, we may not need many more schools in the near future.
okay.
So, and it is not so difficult. As you know, children are
Oh, you've frozen for a second there, Mario.
us that they are arriving to this world about 9 months. What I'm saying is that it is not so difficult to estimate the number of children that we are going to have in schools.
Yeah. Um,
They always tell us 9 months in advance that they are coming, and later they grow up only every 12 months. So it
right.
is easy to estimate how many children are going to be needed.
Yeah, this is not a surprise thing, is it? Because that there are not hundreds and thousands of children immigrating into Mijas at the moment, so it should be something that can be calculated.
No, and also we have several schools. So perhaps instead of building big schools, it is better to build some small schools because the extra cost we have for having two schools instead of one is something that we save in the bus transportation. Better to have a school
Oh,
near the children rather than having to bring the children to the schools.
yeah. Okay, Mario. Another comment from Juanjo Torres, another friend of ours. Welcome, Juanjo. Um, I don't think he's impressed with this. He said we're paying 6 million. It's a joke. The promoters should pay for the music festival because they charge a lot of money for the entrance. And you know that's something that we've kind of touched on, Mario. That you know we pay 1 million to bring them here, and then they take all of the money from the entrance tickets. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well,
You
Daniela,
know that there are some other promoters.
yeah, there are other promoters. Yes.
There are other promoters that have done festivals in Mijas and taking months, I would say, even years, to get the money from the town hall.
Yeah, I know.
Now, in this case, we are paying in advance.
Yeah.
What a nice gesture to someone in theory unknown.
Yeah,
How
because
generous is our town
we
hall?
both know promoters that have actually done concerts in Mijas and have waited a very long time. And we're talking about 6, 7, 8 months to be paid. Yeah.
Part of the cost, because the other part of the cost they have compensated somewhere else. So
Yeah.
they organize concerts for free. They have to pay musicians and all the
Yeah.
expenses, and eventually they will get the money
Yeah. You
from the
your
town
internet, I think your internet is
and
coming and
lose
going,
money.
Mario.
As million on 5 years is not of interest.
Yeah. Okay, Daniela, who will be joining us again in September, hopefully, on the live streams, has said it's her pleasure to have done her part for Mijas, and she has produced little Nick, who will be requiring schooling at some point in the not too distant future. Well done to you and Jess, Daniela. Um, I think your internet seems to be coming and going a little bit, Mario.
That is two children per month.
Yeah, you need to pay your internet bill, that's what it is.
I may be like the town hall, paying only 2 or 3 months later.
Yeah. So, that is the situation that you've explained to us, Mario, that they haven't done the study to look at what the income will be from 1 million euros worth. Well, it's actually 1.2 with that. Um, do they need to make the 1.2 million because of the VAT, or just 1 million, in terms of the publicity?
No, everything is paid has to be compensated with the impact in publicity.
Right. Okay.
And that has paid not by you or by me, but by a professional company with
Yeah. And as you've explained, they weren't happy with the external company, so they sacked them and had just gone ahead to do it anyway. Yeah, well, listen, for the people, and I know that there are people who've booked flights, they've bought tickets, they're planning to come over, and people here who are looking forward to it. I sincerely hope that, it all goes ahead and they have a great time. But I do have concerns about their ability to manage 150,000 people over 3 days. Um, you know, especially if they're coming near the La Cala area, because La Cala yesterday was gridlocked, and that was only because of the food truck thing that's on this weekend, and the Carrefour car park being blocked off, and it was gridlocked from every direction. Um,
correct.
And I'm really not sure what's gonna happen to La Cala in particular, with 150,000 people, and to the urbanizations from the Ipodromo, where they're expecting, what, around 20,000 glamour campers. And the roads are still blocked off all around there, so unless they get their act together in the next 3 weeks and open those roads, it is going to be unbearable for the residents around that area.
I really have my doubts regarding the security protocols.
Right.
I don't think they have foreseen all the possibilities. I pray for not having to suffer another fire, for example,
I hope
or
not, yeah.
things like that, because we are doing that in the heat of the summer. And that is something else. Now in summer, when Mijas is attracting a lot of people every day, even more than enough, because most of them have to turn back down from Mijas village.
Yeah,
If we want to do a concert to attract people, why don't we do it in the spring or in autumn?
for
Why do
example.
we do it exactly in August when everybody is already here?
Yeah,
While the central government says that we cannot have the air condition, we cannot even use water to water our plants, Mijas Town Hall is expecting to bring 100,000. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't see the point in this.
I'm going to ask you this question from Denise, because I know that you are the oracle on all things, Mario. Which groups or artists have been confirmed for the
The,
concert? Honestly, I
the
haven't.
most famous are Arctic Monkeys, that
Right,
those who like music is like Rosalia, but in their own style.
right.
Let me tell you that was bringing a group for the youth that was called Small Brain,
Right.
Cerebro Enano in Spanish, Small Brain. And I thought that is the only group that they could find with their small brains. Now they are bringing, I mean, for that amount of money, they are bringing possibly the best they can afford. And I know Arctic Monkeys is a very good group. The point is, why do all the Mijeños have to pay 1 million euros?
Yeah,
Why is not that only paid by those who want to enjoy that concert?
sure.
Or if we want to make it free, why don't we make it free for everybody?
Yeah,
No, we are giving 1 million euros to a company, and also the people will have to pay the same price, either they are from Mijas or from anywhere in the world, which I
right.
think is about 170 euros for the
Oh,
3 days.
right. Okay. That's a lot of money.
And that
Um,
is in the last row. If you want to
the
smell
cheap
the singers, you have to pay much more money.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna get the concert for free, Mario, because I'm really not very far away from Cotico, Colorado. And I think
Could be that some That's something else. Many people love music. but some others may not want to hear music at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No.
And I'm afraid they will have to hear that for 3 days.
Yeah, and I'm going to just throw this in. We're coming towards the end, Mario, but this does raise the concerns from a lot of restaurant owners who put on live music, and some of them have been stopped by the police and told they can't have their live music in their restaurants or bars. And yet, we can pay 1.2 million to have all this music, uh, wafting around the lower hills of La Cala.
Mhm. Yes, that was one of my questions in the last monthly meeting. I invited the government in Mijas to make it compatible, both things, the live music that we all love and we believe that all bars and restaurants are entitled to play, with the right not to listen to that of people who are living in the surroundings. And
Yeah,
I propose three things which are not so difficult. First, to reduce the volume of the music.
yeah,
Second, to reduce the hours in which that music can be played. And
right,
third, and perhaps more important, to put the loudspeakers from the outside to the inside.
right. Yeah,
Right now, most of those locals, in order to save cables, they put the loudspeaker inside their local, showing or sending the noise to the outside.
right,
Just doing these three things, I think both activities, the rest and also the music, could be made compatible.
right.
The counselor of Via Pública, who is the one taking care of this, said, yes, Mario, yes, Mario, yes, Mario. But we don't expect great progress in the near future.
Yeah. Listen, Vicky has asked a question, and this was something that was in my mind as well. Um, if the government were to change in May 2023, okay, would the new government be able to cancel this contract, which is due to run for 5 years?
We will need a good reason.
Okay,
Everything can be cancelled, even marriage, which is declared to be forever until God split it, but you need a good reason, or you need to pay a lot of money,
right. Okay, so you need to pay a sort of indemnity to the company.
or
Yeah.
have a good reason. For
Okay.
example, that they have failed to do it properly this time, or things like that.
Yeah.
Before you were asking me for the groups, I told you Arctic Monkeys. They will be acting on Thursday, the 1st of September, but on Friday we will have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Okay.
And also the Chemical Brothers, Kraftwerk, which is a group of my youth,
Right.
and some others. And on Saturday the 3rd, we will have Liam Gallagher and also Love of Lesbian, which are very well known, and also Nati Peluso and Nina Kravis, people that may or may not deserve the €1 million that Mijas is investing.
Right.
But this should be justified by an external company, shouldn't be up to your opinion or mine. There
Yeah.
should be an independent company saying, yes, these people has been so good that the impact in publicity of Mijas worth the effort of 1 million plus VAT.
Yeah. We've got Dan saying he doesn't want to pay for a concert that he wouldn't go to, and I think that's fair. But there are a lot of things that we pay for that we don't use. My taxes contribute towards schooling, and I don't have any children here, so there are things that we do pay for that we
Mhm.
don't necessarily use. I don't use any of the council sports facilities, and I obviously pay for that as well. So I get Dan's comment very clearly, but I think that's a difficult one because in a community, we do put money into the pot, and sometimes the things that the money is spent on is not things that we would necessarily use, isn't it?
As I said before, it is not a matter of having your opinion or mine. The
Yeah,
law says that an external company should give an opinion before paying money.
yeah.
And they have fired that company and paid half of the money in advance. And this is not a good beginning.
Yeah, I don't know if you know the answer to this from Mandy. and I've had a conversation with someone about this already. The bit of dirt track road from where Casa Banderas is to the start of the fencing. Any idea if that's ever going to be tarmacked?
No, no,
No,
to be
no
honest.
idea. Oh, it's not.
No, they seem to have been paid a lot of interest now in this plot and in the surroundings to
Yeah.
help to this festival, and they don't care about anything else.
Okay. Mario, I think we've given people an awful lot to think about. One last comment here from Denise. In the Baleares, you have to apply for a music license and comply with strict rules. That's also the case here at the moment, and they don't give out music licenses unless the opening certificate actually states, for example, bar with music, and then they have to meet all of these requirements set by the junta. Am I right there, Mario?
Eh, there cannot be music outside
Okay.
unless you are giving a license, and Mijas Town Hall is not giving any license at all.
Yeah.
And I think they could give licenses, but always subject to certain conditions regarding the volume, the hours, and the distribution of the sound. I don't think it is so difficult. Instead of saying yes or no, let's try to find a solution so both parties can work properly.
Yeah.
Because many of those people who complain about the noise have their children working as waiters in those bars.
Yeah. Of course.
And
Um, uh,
both parties are right and both are entitled to live. It is
yeah.
simply a matter of organizing them together.
We've got another comment from Sean, who says, "Welcome, Sean. Someone also stole the light posts and the copper wiring, which all needs to be replaced for the safety of walkers at night." I didn't know about that.
Well,
So
the copper has been stolen in many places. Let me tell you something. This year, 2022, we are going to lose 8 local policemen because of age, and the town hall has employed 4. So if
right,
we are losing 8 and we are bringing 4, we are finishing the year with 4 less policemen, and
yeah,
all of them will be 1 year older than the year before. All of them. All of
indeed.
them.
Mario, there's been a lot of interaction, a lot of people listening live with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I think that these debates are important, that they take place within a public forum and not just behind closed doors within
Correct.
political parties or in council meetings. So thank you very much for explaining all of this with us, Mario. You'll come back with me at the end of August for a roundup of the August council meeting.
Yes, correct. I will be here.
Okay, Mario, have a lovely weekend. And well,
Thank you.
you and I will see each other soon. But thanks to everyone who's been joining in and taking part in the chats today. It's been very helpful, I think. Um, well, let's hope everything goes ahead and goes okay for this concert. Um, but it doesn't take away from what Mario's been saying, that it has been done completely the wrong way. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we will be with you soon. Take care now.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.